Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Reviews. So I hope you're having a great Thanksgiving. And what better way to celebrate Thanksgiving with the worst turkeys of 2018? Yes, the films that I just found myself thinking, why did I sit through these? Now, and these are my opinions only. Trust me folks, what you like and what I like are chiefly different. You may like something on this list that I absolutely did not care for. There are two films on this list that I did not review, but I'm putting on here anyway because I feel like they deserve mention. Start with the dishonorable mentions of the year. One is The Vanishing of Sydney Hall, 2 is The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, 3 is Extinction, the 4th and 5th are Venom and The Predator, folks. I'm not going to rehash everything I said about these films because I quite frankly think you can watch my reviews and tell how angry I was with these films. So let's get on with it. Number 10 on this list is Winchester. This premiered the week of the Super Bowl. Thankfully, no one saw this, or if they did, they would seemingly regret watching this. The film's biggest mistake, or biggest crime in my opinion, is that this makes a ghost story really boring. For a film in which, oh yes, this is the Winchester house, the most famous haunted house in North America, and the likes of Jason Clarke and the likes of Helen Mirren sleepwalk their way through this film in which, oh yes, Jason Clarke is trying to figure out, oh yeah, is the Helen Mirren character actually sane? Now this is directed by the Spirit Brothers, who probably the highlight of their career is a film called Daybreakers. Check that film out, folks. I just kept waiting for the scares. The scares aren't scary. The explanation as to why this one particular ghost is haunting Sarah Winchester is not interesting. Number 9 on this list here is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. It only took 5 attempts for me to get off the Jurassic Park World bandwagon. The first crime this film commits is that, oh yeah, Jeff Goldblum is only on this film for about 5 minutes, and I wanted more Jeff Goldblum. The second crime here is basically, is this really all J.A. Bayona and Colin Trevorrow want to do with their time? Oh yeah, they had no idea what to do for a follow-up, because the only reason why this film exists is because the first one made money. We're introduced to a whole bunch of new characters that I don't really care for. James Cromwell literally sleepwalk his way through this film. This film literally has the audacity to pull off an auction scene that, this is a parody with Toby Jones doing this, or literally is trying to take itself seriously, in which I found it distasteful, and auctioning off dinosaurs. Literally, do you find auctioning off dinosaurs fascinating? I don't. Now, this film also raises questions at the end that I really don't care to know the answers for. Number 8 on this list is 7 Guardians of the Tomb, or Guardians of the Tomb, in which this happens to have basically a plot of aliens, only swapping out xenomorphs with spiders. MST3K should do this film. They should be happy they have another film to do if they ever decide to go with the next season. Basically, the Chinese film market is trying to make an influx into Americanized cinema here, and quite frankly, they should be embarrassed. I mean, Kelsey Grammer is literally rehashing what Paul Reiser did with Aliens. Our characters looking for the fountain of youth. And I really just sort of sat here thinking, really, congratulations, I don't care about your Chinese stars. Oh yeah, and here's the thing, folks. Xenomorphs are scary. Spiders are not. No matter how hard you try to make spiders scary, it just comes off as laughable. Never in the history of cinema have spiders been scary. And again, I don't care about the secret of eternal youth. Oh look, these spiders can pop out people's chests. So what? On this list here is Gotti. This is the third attempt to make a Gotti film that they've done in so many years. The first film came out like a couple of years after John Gotti went to prison. That starred Armand Assante. Second time, it starred Tom Sizemore. A really rehash of everything we've seen from other bear gangster films. Apparently, Kevin Connolly, who basically only has like one other directorial credit, and it happens to be like an episode of Entourage, he literally borrows everything from other gangster films. If you've seen the honest trailer for this, in which, oh yeah, it's produced by MoviePass, and it was produced by a guy who Stanley had a restraining order out against. This was also produced by Rick Solomon, who slept with Paris Hilton. At one point, it was supposed to be literally about Gotti's son, but basically Gotti's son is not, he's just there as a stump on the log, with everyone telling him about, oh, how great your dad is. I don't really care. Number 6 on this list is Patient Zero. This was on the blacklist script of the most liked screenplays. This has been floating around in Hollywood for several years before it got finally made into a film. This starred Matt Smith as a guy who can actually talk to zombies. Now you would think to yourself that would be a fascinating premise for a film. It's totally a waste. I think this was filmed right after Matt Smith got finished with filming Doctor Who. Again, I have a significant issue with the blacklist. I think it needs a serious reconsideration of how the most liked scripts are coming about. The film barely has it that he's talking to zombies, and it's just, oh look, another zombies attack and invade where everyone is staying. Stanley Tucci, who is featured prominently in the trailer and on the poster, is here for a total of 15 minutes, and then he's done. I mean, Natalie Dormer's in this. I literally have no clue why Natalie Dormer's in this. And people are trying to figure out, okay, who is Patient Zero? Then they come to realize, oh yeah, the zombies are looking for their Patient Zero. And that's not interesting. Number 5 on this list here is Pacific Rim Uprising. Here's the thing, folks. I was not a fan of the first Pacific Rim film. I thought, okay, yes, I understand what Guillermo del Toro is trying to do. He's trying to make a kaiju film without Godzilla. And this film made money in China. And God bless them, we're getting a sequel because of China. Charlie Hunnam and Idris Elba gone. John Boyega in this, and he looks bored. We get a couple of other actors who return. They look bored. Really, the chief difference between, Guillermo del Toro and Stephen the Knight is that Guillermo del Toro won an Oscar. Stephen the Knight is going to go back to Marvel Television. Whatever magic that he had with the first season of Daredevil is clearly missing here. Stephen the Knight just essentially made a Power Rangers episode, if you really think about it. And oh look, this film made money in China, and we're going to get a third film. Whether or not this actually happens, goodbye. Number 4 on this list is The Cloverfield Paradox. This film really begins to get me angry when I think about it, because, hey look, your film is bought and paid for by the Super Bowl, and it's premiered after the Super Bowl, and wow, this is once again on the blacklist script, and once again I have to say I have significant issues with that. This also has the criminal complaint of, hey look, just because you could shoehorn something into your script doesn't mean you actually should. That's the thing, folks. The Hellraiser series got away with this, and my chief complaint is after watching this film here is that the Netflix original films have a perfect opportunity to go above and beyond the current theatrical distribution model, but this film exactly proves my point why they can't, because the scripts are so lackluster. Because I can name maybe 5 films that I like from Netflix. The rest run the gamut from, okay to downright terrible. This was shoehorned in as a Cloverfield film, and it really was a standard sci-fi thriller, which is a subpar one at that, in which, oh yeah, there's literally a scene here in which, oh yeah, someone's arm got cut off, and literally his most casual reaction to his arm being chopped off. And I would be like, my arm is chopped off. But no, I got ripped off. I'm angry. Congrats to the Super Bowl for paying your lousy bill here, folks. My number 3 film on this list here is Godzilla City on the Edge of Battle. Here's the thing, folks. I love the Godzilla films. I truly like all those cheesy Godzilla films. But Godzilla had a personality for those films. And when History of Man is written, when they get to the Godzilla section of History of Man, this will rank squarely near the bottom of that list. Save only for maybe the Roland Emmerich Godzilla, maybe Godzilla vs. Smog Monster. This is an hour and 40 minutes of utter nothingness in which Godzilla shows up in the last act, but all he does is walk and points his head. Oh yeah, Mechagodzilla is now a city. Some of the aliens spout utter nonsense about their own evolution. And oh yeah, the character for the first film is mellowed, which I didn't find fascinating. Apparently, the 3rd film in this proposed trilogy is going to feature King Ghidorah. And here's hoping they don't screw up King Ghidorah, because King Ghidorah is probably the most fascinating of all of Godzilla's rogue gallery. So number 2 on this list here is Roma. I know this is probably a controversial choice because this film is being hailed as a masterpiece by critics. And let me tell you, the critics, they may be right about everything. Quite literally, I fail to see it. This film has no legitimate reason to being in black and white. This film also has the dubious distinction of my mother asking me, sort of like 10-15 minutes toward the end of this film, hey, do you want to leave? My mother almost never released it, and I've taken her to see some of the most crappiest films out there. Very rarely does my mom ever complain about bad films. She usually complains about it afterwards, not in the theater. I really sat there with this film here, bored, waiting for something to happen. Again, whenever I meet someone who says this thing is a masterpiece, I just want to rip their head off by saying, no, what were you thinking? There were plenty of walkouts that I saw. I got a comment on my review of this saying, oh, you don't like art house films, go back to reviewing Transformers 15. No, here's the thing, folks. I actually like art house films. I think there should be more art house films. I think people should like art house films more than the current crop of films that we're getting. Here's the thing. I just like bad art house films. My worst film of the year, it's no contest. It's 50 Shades Freed. Here's the thing. I didn't bother seeing the first two. I just sat. I went to see it. Thought it was awful. Jeremy Jahns had probably the best reaction out of everyone I checked out seeing the reviews for, because he literally had stringers going everywhere, and he has hated this franchise since the beginning. I just sat there thinking Mystery Science Theater 3000 could use an Iraq film, or less than an Iraq film, for their next season. I mean, the sex isn't interesting. Literally, these people know each other intimately, yet they don't know the first thing about being married. Literally, if anyone is going into a marriage not knowing what it takes to be married, clearly they shouldn't be married in the first place. And then this thing devolves into a thriller in which, oh yeah, the guy from the second one comes back, tries to abduct him, knows something about hacking into someone's company, and he's a book editor here, folks. Oh yeah, there's some exposition at the end of the film in which, oh yeah, he discovers who his parentage is. I don't really care. This is the same guy who directed Glengarry Glen Ross. Oh my god, yeah, this is... No, just no. So in the end, folks, what do you think about my bottom 10 films of the year? Please put your bottom 10 in the comment box below, film. Folks, as always, folks, like, comment, subscribe, enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. Yes, hooray.